Welcome back to the Reese Report. I am the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese. I am joined by my regular trio of Gilbay, Iron Man Santos, who I think will try to be here every week this week because we want to keep calling him Iron Man. And all the way from Portugal, Jose Carlos Gomes, who is looking very good in the background there. You can see, okay? Now, don't mind. You're going to hear lots from Jose and lots from Gil. I just want to say from the start, thank you to everyone who subscribed to my channel. Even though we weren't doing consistent content in the summer, I gained enough to get to 700 subscribers. The goal is to get to 1,000. We're going to give you consistency from the three of us all year, giving you picks, commentary on the games. These two that you see above me are going to be starring role in this. You're going to hear a lot more from them and what they think. Don't worry about me. You guys have already seen me enough, okay? So the man with the Green Bay hat is going to talk about the Parsons trade. We're going to hear from Jose about the 49ers, and we're going to give you our preview this year for who we think's winning the divisions, who's getting the buys. We'll give you our MVPs and our Rookie of the Years, and then we will go into Week 1 picks after that. Are you ready to go, guys? Gil, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Gil, I'm going to start with you. Your team made a massive trade. Just something happened this week. It was all over the news. The Packers traded for Micah Parsons. They gave up 2 late first-round picks and Kenny Clark, I believe it's Kenny Clark, an older defensive end. Gil, what do you think of this trade, and does that make your team a Super Bowl contender?
Well, obviously, when you sign someone like that, obviously it makes you a Super Bowl contender. But Green Bay, did they give up a lot? I don't think so because I think they both got what they wanted. Dallas is in a rebuilding stage. The Packers already have a lot of young talent. They're the youngest team. They can afford to give up the 2 draft picks, the 2 first rounders. They already built whoever they got. They got Jacobs. He's still young. And, they got their 4 wide receivers with Golden and Love. And so they're full of young guys. So Parsons just gives them that extra, pass rush against the quarterbacks, right? So that's what they needed a little bit. But yeah, and Dallas got what they wanted, the draft picks, and they still got Clark, which he's still great.
Any concerns about other parts of your team, run defense, the growth of Jordan Love, anything else you want to talk about with your team before we get into the preview?
Well, yeah, the Jordan Love
Wide
coming off the thumb
receivers.
injury. Jordan Love coming off the thumb injury worries me a bit. But we'll see how that goes. Uh, he's a little inconsistent. Sometimes he's hot, sometimes he's not. So let's see how that goes.
Okay, Gil's Packers open with the Detroit Lions at home. So you get a big test right away, Gil. The champions of last year, well, the bye champions, they ended up losing to Washington in the championship game, getting blown out at home by Jaden Daniels. Jose, quick thoughts on the Parsons deal, and what do you think that does for the Packers? Just unmuted, Jose.
Oh, it was a good deal for Green Bay. They picked up a Pro Bowler, a guy that can wreak havoc on defense. They're gonna get a lot of pressures with him to the quarterbacks. They upgraded their defense. They already had a good offense already from last year. They upgraded their defense. They're gonna be contenders to win the Super Bowl this year if everybody can stay healthy. It was a great move. Dallas, I don't know. Jerry Jones, I think he should start quitting his GM job. I think he should get fired because you don't make a move like that, even if you're rebuilding or not. That's a cornerstone of your team right there. If you want to rebuild, you sign him and CeeDee Lamb, and then you can rebuild, get rid of Dak Prescott's $60 million because the guy is worthless. And then you can still rebuild. You have a defensive player that you can rebuild with and an offensive player. So honestly, I don't know what the hell this guy is thinking. Maybe he didn't want to pay him. Maybe he's a narcissist. He wants to be the head man in Dallas, and he doesn't give a shit about anybody else. And that's what it is.
Before we continue, Gil, quick thoughts on Matthew Golden, your first round pick.
Yeah, he's gonna help the deep threat. He's also a Longhorn. We'll see how he does. But yeah, I'm interested. He's a great speed, great inside, deep route. So he'll help out. It's gonna be hard to see who's gonna be the Packers' number one receiver. Could
Yeah,
be
no
any of them.
kidding. It could be anybody. Although Dobbs is already causing problems, so we don't know if he's going to play or not play. Okay, so that's our little. We need to talk about that trade as a significant trade for Gill's team. We'll see what happens. I do think it makes Green Bay a Super Bowl contender. There are questions, but we'll get into our picks and discuss that later. So let's start with the AFC East, guys. This division is kind of a joke now. The Bills are the defending champions, and I don't think they're going anywhere because Josh Allen is still there, and he did it with no receivers last year, and the emergence of James Cook. I think they win the division again, and they win it very easily. The question is who's second, third, and fourth. I don't have any idea, but I don't have them in the playoffs, so I'm going to talk about them. Gil, who do you have in the AFC East, and are any of those teams other than the Bills in the playoffs?
It'll be tough. The Bills are winning the division. I actually think the Patriots might make a little bit of some noise this year. I'm not saying they're great, but they'll get more wins. They'll be competitive. I think they're gonna give teams a run for their money. And Miami, it all depends because Miami, does Tyreek Hill really want to be there? I start to feel like he doesn't care about Miami. Tua is there, but I think Miami is a little bit lost in their identity of who they are. So I think the Patriots are going heading the right direction. So I think Bills and I think the Patriots would be number two in that division.
Yeah, I honestly don't know who it's going to be a mess. The Dolphins they're in trouble. I think they're kind of a mess right now. Um, they could trade Tyreek Hill. I mean, if he starts off bad. The Patriots are improved. I like their coach Vrabel. We'll see what they do. They're going to need a healthy Stephon Diggs. I'm not sure about Drake May yet. The jury's out, so we'll see about that. They did draft a nice running back in Hendrickson. We'll see if he helps Stevenson stop fumbling the football. And the Jets, I don't know. Like they signed Fields, they can't throw the ball down the field. Garrett Wilson's going to have a heart attack all year because he can't get the football. So I don't know what the Jets are going to be, but the Bills are the easy winners in this division. Jose, who do you got in the AFC East? And are there any playoff teams other than the Bills in that division?
I got the Bills winning division easily. But then I got the Patriots also making the playoffs as a wild card
Oh,
team.
okay.
I think this year with the Hendrickson and running back, he's going to improve that running offense. They got Diggs. May was impressive last year with limited of options on offense. This year they upgraded it. They had spent large money. They had one of the teams that spent the most money in free agents and stuff. They upgraded their team. So I'm gonna take them to make as a wild card, and I just see Miami and the Jets just battling it out for third and fourth. Although the Jets, you know what, like they're gonna say it's gonna be a rushing team, but you know what? This reminds you of your Ohio State connection with Wilson and Fields. He was throwing them long bombs in Ohio State, so I'm not saying that they're gonna go crazy, but I don't think it's gonna be just about rushing in the Jets. I think it's gonna be a little bit of both and stuff. But I just think it's gonna be between Buffalo and the Patriots, 1-2 in the division.
Well, Lino's going to be happy. Lino's going to be very happy. So hopefully he's listening. Um, I think the Jets will win more games than they did last year. I will say that they'll win more than 5 games, but I'm not going any further than that. Aaron Rodgers, the situation there was a disaster last year. If anything, Fields will give them a better rushing game, and he'll be able to make the short throws. So we'll see. I think the Jets will win more than 5 games, but other than that, I do not have anyone else in the playoffs. Now let's go to the toughest division. Well, actually, it might be two tough divisions in the AFC now, but this is definitely the toughest one. Well, maybe the West is tougher, but we'll see. Well, we're going to the North. Um, I have the Ravens winning the division again. This is Gil's team, and Gil picks them every year, and he's been right every year. I don't see Lamar Jackson getting any worse. They got Derrick Henry, who's the best running back in football, one of the best. I guess Saquon was the best last year. Um, they still don't have many receiving options. I mean, they got Flowers and they have Bateman, but they're not top end receivers. They got Andrews still there, who cost them the series, the playoffs last year. And they got a new kicker in Tyler Loop. Is he going to be loopy or is he going to make kicks? I think he'll make kicks. So, therefore, the Ravens win the division. The toughest decision I had to make here was who makes the playoffs from this division. I got the Bengals. Now, the Bengals have one of the worst defenses I've ever seen, but their offense is elite. And so my belief is they'll be able to outscore teams this year because that's the only way they're going to win. Hendrickson will get a few sacks, and maybe they'll win some of the close games that they lost last year. So therefore, they make the playoffs as the second team. I don't believe the Steelers will be any good this year. I have them at 7-10. I don't believe Rodgers will put them over the top. They've got one receiver. They let Pickens go. They got one guy they can throw the football to. They got Smith and Freiermuth, and very big question marks at running back. Their defense is going to have to come up really huge for them to win games. But I think this is the first season they missed the playoffs and finished under 500, and Mike Tomlin is then in a lot of trouble. So, and then the Browns might not win a game. I think the Browns might win one game all season and go to Shedeur Sanders maybe by week 10, because Gabriel's going to get in there, and then they're going to put Sanders in there, and Flacco's going to go home to sit on the couch and join Jose in his basement, and that'll be it for the Browns. So I got Ravens, Bengals in the playoffs here. Jose, let's get you off mute and tell me who you like in this division and if there are any playoff teams.
Well, I like the Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to be a crazy team this year. Upgraded defensively, offensively, they got added D-Hop to the wide receiver corps too. That's another weapon for Lamar Jackson. To me, I think it's going to be between the Bengals and the Steelers to get that second place. I'm leaning towards the Steelers, but mostly because of their defense. I think Jalen Ramsey was a good pickup for them, and on the cornerbacks, I think defenses wins championships, and I think that will get them over the hump at the Bengals. I see the Bengals challenging the Chargers for the last playoff spot in the wild card. I'm gonna say Ravens and then Steelers finish second. Just
Are
a
they in the
close.
playoffs?
Yeah, Steelers are in the playoffs. Steelers are in the playoffs. They'll make the playoffs. I think I'm not betting on the house on Rodgers, but I think he's an upgrade from what they had before.
Sure.
And he has he lost Pickens, but they got DK Metcalf. So it's not like you're losing anything special there or whatever. You got the running game still. I think it's going to be a lot of short pass options for Rodgers this year. Nothing long, little 10-yard dips here and there, little slants, and they're going to keep moving the ball like that and just depend on that crazy defense with TJ Watt and Hayward and Ramsey and stuff like that. They still have that defense. And to me, I like Bengals will put up the points, but can they keep teams off the field? And that's the biggest thing. And I think I have more trust on the Steelers defense than I do on the Bengals. So that's what I'm taking.
Understandable. Gil, who do you have winning the division, and are there any more playoff teams?
Okay, so I got the Bills in.
No, just from the north. Just from the north.
No, I know. So the Bills are in, and I'm going to say that the Ravens are winning this division.
Okay.
But I will say I see three teams going to the playoffs in this division.
Wow. Okay.
I see the Ravens winning it, and I see the Bengals and the Steelers going in as wild cards.
Wow. Okay.
So I think the AFC North is going to offer us three playoff teams this year.
What will the records be of the Bengals and the Steelers?
It'll be tough, but they'll probably get in 10-6.
10-7 records, both of them?
10-7, yeah, 10-7.
Or maybe
It'll be
9-8,
tough.
one of them?
I don't know which one will come first because Jose, great point, where the Steelers defense is just up there. Like they can do a lot of holding games, and and Rodgers will do his checkdowns to the tight end, and don't be surprised if he goes to Metcalf down the field here and there
Yeah,
with
he's
his Hail
gonna have
Mary
to.
specials, with his Hail Mary specials. But Yeah, but Rodgers is excited because he has a defense to help him out stay in games. And the Bengals are going to be a shootout every game. They're just going to
Every
be
game.
exciting to watch. All
Yeah,
all they need is their defense to stop at least one or two drives of the
that's
other
it.
team.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, I think with regards to the Steelers, with both of your points, Rodgers is going to have to throw the ball down the field if they're going to have success. I don't think he can just do dump offs and be successful. I think that if they're going to be a better offense, he's going to have to throw it deep to Metcalf because teams will be able to defend them a lot easier if he's not throwing the football down the field because that's why they got rid of Justin Fields. Remember, they have 4-2 with Justin Fields, but he couldn't throw the football down the field, so they went to Russell Wilson just for that reason because their offense couldn't move the football. So I don't think Rodgers is going there to throw checkdowns. He's going down to throw the ball DK deep. He's got Jonnu Smith in there who should help them extend plays as well. You got two tight ends set that should help Rodgers get out of trouble so he doesn't get sacked. So yeah, I can understand anyone picking the Steelers based on that, and their defense is very good as long as Watt's not hurt. If Watt gets hurt, that entire defense falls apart. So Watt will have to stay healthy, but that's going to be a very tricky division. The Bengals, if you guys are gambling men, just take the over every game because they're just going to score like 40 points every game because that's the only way they can win. So, like, yeah, that's it. They spent all their money on offense. They did re-sign Hendrickson, but they were bad with him last year. Um, so two teams for me, two for Jose, three for Gil out of the North. And that leads us to the AFC South, which is what I like to call the disaster division, as Gil will start laughing because we have to talk about these ugly teams. But there is some intriguing things to talk about. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the Texans because by default they're the best team. Okay, they got the best defense, they got the best quarterback. Their running back Joe Mixon is out maybe for the whole season, which is a problem. But they do have Nick Chubb and Dameon Pierce still there. Nico Collins is still receiving for them. It won't be easy, but I think their defense will get them through to win the division along with some plays from Stroud. Now let's talk about the rest of these teams. The Colts are an embarrassment to football. Now, God, RIP to the owner, I respect, but when you sign Daniel Jones and you give him the job, there's something wrong with you. I mean, Shane Steichen just wants to lose his job. So now they got Richardson backing up Daniel Jones. What a disaster team that they are. They're finishing last in the division. I have the Titans finishing ahead of them because at least Cam Ward is something to cheer about. The Jags, I mean, they picked up Hunter. They got Thomas. I don't trust their running backs. I don't trust their quarterback. And so I got them at best battling Tennessee for second or third. But this is a Houston division and a Houston division easy. I'll go to Gil because I know how much he loves to talk about the Colts and Trevor Lawrence. So who do you got, Gil, in this division? Because I know you're not picking any more playoff teams out of there except for the division winner.
Obviously, Houston, that's a give me. This is the saddest division in football's history. Like, this should be legal. But anyways, yeah, Houston wins. I'm gonna take the Colts second. Uh,
Wow,
I don't like, and that's based off Jonathan Taylor just carrying that team.
that's true.
Don't be surprised if Richard starts gets back in there and gives them
Oh
more of
yeah,
a mobile. But at Jacksonville, until they don't get Goldilocks out of there, they ain't gonna do anything. So
it's
Jacksonville will be good after they get Goldilocks out of there.
yeah.
And Tennessee, what I saw with Ward at that bowl game just disappoints me. He's in it for himself. He's
Oh,
not a
okay,
team player. He ditched his team with 1 minute left at the bowl game. I didn't like
right.
that at all. I don't. I think he's in it for himself. I don't think he cares about the team. So I think Tennessee stays in last.
Wow, interesting. Okay, Jose, who do you like to win this division? And any comments on the other teams, including Cam Ward as the number one pick?
Texans is winning this division, hands down. Every other team is shit, especially the Colts. Thank God we don't have to listen to Barboza anymore. ESPN didn't renew his contract, so he got kicked off the show. Um, Bengals, sorry, the Titans will be fine with Cam Ward. I think gives them a deep ball threat that can actually throw a ball, not like Will Levi's throwing picks that he doesn't even need to throw the ball. They have a good team. They just need to stop making stupid mistakes. They were in a lot of games last year until Will Levi started throwing the ball to the other team. and they could have won at least 2 or 3 more games than they should have last year. You know what I mean? So I think they'll be fine. Cam Ward, he'll be in the running for offensive rookie of the year. He can play. He can play. Yeah, that was stupid what he did last year in the bowl game, hunts down. But dude, these kids nowadays, all they care about is money and fame and stuff like that. They don't care about college football anymore. It's you're 1 year there, and then next year some team's offering you 5 million. You're going to another team, so now it's all about money. It's not about the love of the game anymore or anything, or your teammates or anything. It's all about the money. As for the Jaguars, you know what? I still think that defensively they're horrible. Um, Offensively, you know what? We'll see how they with Trevor Lawrence if he stays healthy with Hunter there, and maybe we'll give him another option. You know, they already have Clark. He's a good wide receiver there. He's a good option. They have a bunch of good running backs with Tank Gisby and Etienne and stuff like that. It's just if their defense is going to step up. But I don't see any of these teams doing anything except the Titans making the playoffs because every division winner makes the playoffs. And as for the divisions you guys were saying about shit too, the NFC South shit too. Okay,
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
there's those two divisions are the worst in NFL period. So yeah.
We'll get to the NFC when we take our break. Let's get to the AFC West. To me, easily one of the toughest divisions in football now, especially with the coaching changes. We have Pete Carroll in Oakland now. Obviously, the whole division is loaded with coaching. But for me, that doesn't change who the division winner is. It's still going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think they're going to win as many games as they have in the past, but I still think they win the division. They got an old team. They've got some guys that are getting suspended. They got an old Travis Kelce who just got engaged. Their running back situation is a question mark, but they still got a great defense, so they'll figure out a ways to win games. I'll pick them to win the division, but barely, and I mean barely. Broncos second. I think they'll make the playoffs as well. I think they're only going to get better. Their defense is one of the best in the league. They added some tight end depth in Evan Ingram that's going to help Bo Nix get out of trouble. They got a good kicker. Their offensive line is improved. So the Broncos are going to be right there. And I got the Chargers making the playoffs despite the fact that Justin Herbert is a disaster in the playoffs and is one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the NFL. In the regular season with Jim Harbaugh coaching and that run game and that defense, he will find a way to make the playoffs in the third place team. Raiders will be better, but not good enough in this division. They'll be fourth. Gil, who do you have making the playoffs and who do you have winning the division in this division?
Well, for me, the FC West is going to have a new crown. KC has to. Chiefs are going to start getting disorganized. They're good teams still, but I think Denver's going to be the new king of the West. They have all the puzzles, especially their defense is very solid. We've seen how they played with KC last year. KC didn't even know what hit them, and they should have lost both of those games. I think Denver woke up. I think they're good. Knicks got that first year out of the ball. Yeah, I think Denver's going to win, and KC for me will be the wild card.
Chargers?
Vegas, they have Geno Smith. Let's see what Javante's supposed to have a good year. I still think the Raiders' defense is a little weak, and then the Chargers, I don't know, like if their answer was to get Old Man Allen back as like their savior for Hubbard there, I don't know. But I still think the Chargers need a better running back. Harris is still, they don't know what's going to happen. I still think the Chargers have a lot of questions. They need an identity and they don't have one yet. So I think Broncos win. And for me, KC would be the wild card.
Jose?
You know what? I agree with Gil. I think it's the Broncos are going to win the division this year. They upgraded defensively well with Greenlaw, Hufanga. Offensively, they got better too with the running backs that came in. It's going to be them first, Chiefs second, and then I'll have the Chargers and the Bengals battling it out for the last playoff spot in the wild card. I don't know who's going to get in, but it's between the Bengals and the Chargers. I'll probably end up saying the Chargers just because they're going to ground and pound the ball. That's Jim Harbaugh football. Keenan Allen's. You know what? He's old, but he's a good weapon for Herbert. John in the middle game, short passes in the middle. He played well there when he was there with him, and I don't see him doing. I see him doing the same thing. So yeah, I'll take out the Bengals out of the playoffs, and I'll put in the Chargers.
Yeah, I don't blame you guys for taking the Broncos. The Chiefs have a lot of questions. The only problem I have with the Broncos is they didn't beat anyone last year. Their record against like good teams is not good. They got blown out by the Bucks, and not the Bucks. They got blown out by a couple of teams. Baltimore blew them out. So I'm a little worried about their record against positive teams.
Yeah, but you can't blame it on he's a rookie quarterback.
I know,
And
I
look
know.
what he did. Like, you know what I mean? So now he's his second year. He's got experience. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be different.
Yeah, we'll see if RJ Harvey can add to their run game. I had a little concern about their run game, but they should be fine. So what we're going to do, guys, is that's our AFC picks. We're going to come back and make our NFC picks, and then we'll give you the rest of our MVP and Rookie of the Year picks. But we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back on the Reese Report. All right, welcome back to the Reese Report. We're back for our NFC picks. I'm joined by Jose, Carlos Gomes, and Gil Santos again. We made our AFC picks. We'll give you our buys after and when we make the rest of our picks. But let's get to the NFC, and let's get to the NFC East, where we have the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. Now, I struggled with this big time because I wanted to pick a different division winner because there's only been one repeat division winner in the last 20 years in this division, and therefore I'm going to take Washington to win this division. They will tie Philadelphia for the division, but will win the division on a tiebreaker. The Commanders I've loved since last year. Jose and I were high on Jaden Daniels. He won Rookie of the Year, led his team to the AFC Championship game with a very average defense. They added a running back in the draft. They got Deebo Samuel over there to help with the passing game after just having Terry McLaurin over there. And their defense will be improved because they drafted defense. So I got the Commanders winning this division. Doesn't mean I don't like the Eagles. I just think that there'll be a different division winner. The Eagles lost a lot of players on defense, and I don't think Saquon Barkley will rush for 2,000 yards again, which means they're going to have to rely on Jalen Hurts to throw the ball more, and that might give Washington a slight edge in the division. Eagles still making the playoffs as a wild card team. Gil, who do you like in this division? Oh, by the way, Cowboys are shit and Giants are shit. They're going nowhere, either one of them. So,
Well, this division, I think Washington's going to just come out short. I think the Eagles are still going to take it this year. I will take Washington as a wild card to get in. And Dallas and the Giants, they're gonna make teams' lives miserable. They're not the
yeah.
greatest, but they're gonna be very competitive. Even the Giants are gonna be competitive. Watch out. They're gonna be dangerous. Don't take these teams lightly because Dallas and the Giants are not bad teams, to be honest with you. So it's
Okay.
a good tight division, but obviously the Eagles and Washington are more superior than the Giants and the Cowboys. But yeah, so I'm gonna say Eagles and Washington goes in as a wild card.
The Giants with Dart or with Wilson, Gil?
Maybe with both. You know what? Like
Okay.
maybe with both. Wilson will give a deep threat too. Wilson has nothing to lose. He's gonna play loose, and that's when players evolve. When they play loose, or it goes good or it goes bad. But if it goes good, watch out.
Hmm. I actually think the Giants might finish ahead of the Cowboys because I do like their running back tandem and I like Neighbors. And their defense has improved, so they might finish ahead of the Cowboys. But the Cowboys are now going to try to outscore everyone because they got no defense. So yeah, they are going to cause problems. That division is always a problem when you're facing those teams. So, Jose, who do you like in this division?
I like the Eagles.
Okay.
The only thing I only see if the Eagles losing is if the Madden curse is real and Saquon Barkley gets hurt. Okay, that's the only thing I see them. If not, then they'll run away with that division again. They have good defensive players, man. They're young. Offensively, you know what? Jalen Hurts is proven that he can pass the ball. He's got good wide receiver threat. And then I think Washington will make it as a wild card. They'll finish second. And then I see the Giants finishing third and the Cowboys finishing last.
Yeah.
The Giants are like Gil was saying, a scary good team, man. Defensively, buddy, with Dexter Williams and that rookie that they got this year from Penn State and Tebow, man, those guys are gonna be rushing the quarterback a lot, man. They're gonna have a lot of sacks this year. So that team's gonna be scary good defensively. Offensively, I think they're a wide receiver away from being good. I think they have quarterback of the future in Dart. They have Neighbors as the number one wide receiver, but I think he needs help. And I don't think they have that second wide receiver to help him out yet. But and then as for the Cowboys, man, offensively, that's going to be another like Bengals type of thing. They're going to have to outscore people. I see them area like to throw the ball around, buddy, with Pickens and Lamb. It's going to be scary, good duel right there. But defensively, with losing Parsons last year, they already struggled with Parsons there, and now without Parsons, it's going to be hard for them. I see them finishing last.
Yeah. The Cowboys, believe it or not, without Parsons in the lineup, were actually worse than the Bengals defensively. It's hard to believe how bad the Bengals were, but they're actually worse without Parsons. So that's I mean, yeah, they're the Bengals in the NFC. The Giants, I should take it back. I actually like a lot of the Giants' parts. I wonder about Wilson and Dart. Jose, I want to ask you. Hopefully, you can hear me. Dart or Wilson, or will Dart not get in for them this year?
I see it. It all depends on the record. Honest truth. Like if they start winning games at the beginning of the season, Wilson will still in. If they start like 0-3 or 0-4, then they'll put in Dart because they give him experience and stuff like that.
I like Dart. I like Dart.
I like him too. Like the man can throw. Like he's been throwing some crazy bumps in preseason. But then again, it's preseason.
Sure.
Now you play against the real players and starters and stuff. It's a different thing. But I think it's all just going to be all in the matter. It's just like a Penix type of thing. It will all depend on the record, and then if their coach gets into in turmoil and stuff like that, they'll probably want him to get him out, and so they'll probably be putting the rookie. But yeah, I see them both playing this year.
Yeah,
they'll both play this year for sure.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's get to the toughest division in the NFC, which is the NFC North. Gil, I'm going to go to you first because this is your division. Who do you have winning this division, and who are your wild cards, if any?
I'm gonna say it's tough. I'm gonna say Detroit takes the division.
Wow. Okay, still got Detroit. Okay.
I think Detroit just has too much firepower, and Green Bay will go in as a wild card. Now, reason why I take Green Bay doesn't take Detroit out is I'm just not feeling the consistency of Jordan Love. I just don't know. The Packers might end up being a 10-17 and get in the wild card. Minnesota, I think McCarthy's that decision. I don't know why they let Darnold go. They haven't been like 12 and what did they finish again? Like 12 and
14-3.
14-3. Like they haven't seen that in ages.
Yeah.
So why would they change that? I don't know. I get it. McCarthy's their guy, but why not have him behind Darnold just like Green Bay has done? Green Bay Rodgers stayed 5 years behind Favre, then he came in, and Love did the same thing with Rodgers. The Packers have done very well in just not throwing them out there to the wolves, right? Like let them develop. And why not do that? Like everybody gets eager to throw these guys into the wolves right away, right? Which in my eyes, it's a mistake. Chicago, you guys, don't have to spend time on Chicago. You know how I feel about Caleb Williams. He's a fraud. He's a fraud to the NFL. He's the Johnny Manziel, but in black version. And it's a fraud to the NFL. Unfortunately, as Bear fans, I feel sorry for you. And yeah, so I think Green Bay just falls short, goes in as the wild card. Minnesota come third, and Lions take the division.
So just so I understand, Gil, Packers were 11-6 last year. They traded for Parsons. Do you think they get worse? They're going to be 10-7.
I think they'll be the same, record-wise. record-wise,
11-6.
but
Okay.
but will have a better feeling in the playoffs.
Okay. All right. Jose, what do you think who do you have in this division and any wild cards?
I have Packers winning it. I think with Parsons, it's a good upgrade. They won 11 games last year. I think they'll win 12, 13 games this year. They have offensively, they have the same team. Basically, they have a good running game with Josh Jacobs. Defensively, they improved. They have a good secondary. I see the Lions finishing second. I think losing their offensive coordinator is going to help. Is going to bring them down a little bit this year. And then I see, but the Lions will make the playoffs. And then I see, I don't know, man. I have the faith in that offensive coordinator to change Caleb Williams, but I don't think it's going to be this year. I think they'll finish 500 this year, and then next year they'll be a serious contender. I think, like I said, I think too, like the wide receiving core is a little bit weak, and the running back is weak. I don't think Swift is the guy to lead them to the playoffs. And as for the Vikings, I see the Vikings battling it out for the last playoff spot too. Like I think the Bears will finish last, and then the Vikings will finish third. Maybe a 10-7 record. I understand why what Gil was saying about Darnold, but dude, why would you want to pay a guy $25 million when you're paying a guy $6 million that can do the same
Once
job
they
as him,
drafted
right?
JJ, they were gonna play JJ.
And he was supposed to be the starter already last year until he got hurt. So
Yeah, but can he do the job? Let's find out.
We don't
yeah,
know,
of
right?
course.
We don't know.
But
Right.
we said the same thing about Darnold, and he did the job too. That guy is a good their head coach and their offensive coordinator is really good with working with quarterbacks. So they'll play to his strengths and stuff like that. And you have Justin Jefferson there, you have Addison, Aaron Jones. You still have weapons, and they upgraded their defense too. So it's not like they got weaker and everything too. I see them battling it all for the last playoff spot too.
Okay, so I struggle with this because I was trying to figure out the wild card between the Vikings and the Seabags. That was my decision maker here because Darnold going to Seattle should keep them around the same, but how down does Minnesota go? They won 14 games. Yeah, Darnold was a factor, but I think Flores' defense was a bigger factor than Darnold himself. And so I'm not sure that McCarthy's gonna all of a sudden drop them to the bottom of the division. And so I'm gonna pick the Packers to win the division. I think that Micah Parsons' addition is gonna put them over the top for me. I do think Detroit will be second, but I think they're gonna struggle a little bit without their coordinators. I think that this happened with Philadelphia. Philadelphia got to the Super Bowl. They lost their coordinators and they missed the playoffs. Now, Detroit could miss the playoffs. I have them in there still, but losing your coordinators takes about a year to get over. But because they have so much firepower, they should be okay. Then again, Philly did too, and they missed the playoffs. So I hope Detroit doesn't become one of those teams that blasts off at the start and then goes down because they're without coordinators. But I do have the Vikings making the playoffs. JJ McCarthy was drafted for a reason. Their offensive coordinator is excellent. He's there for a reason. He's supposed to be an offensive guru. He's supposed to be McVay and all this, that he can get it done with any quarterback. So if they have a good defense and a good running game, then it's the Jim Harbaugh special. You put a rookie in there and you can still win games. So I think Minnesota will make the playoffs. I think they could be second. I think they could finish ahead of Detroit. But I think I'll just pick Detroit second, but I think Minnesota will be there. They'll make the playoffs. The Bears will be improved. They're not going to make the playoffs, but I think they can win 9 games. But they'll miss the playoffs, even though they've won 9 games. I do agree with Jose. I think that they're going to struggle a little bit with the new coordinators. I don't believe in Caleb Williams either. He's very inconsistent. He holds onto the ball too long. It leads to sacks. He doesn't throw picks, but eventually you've got to start taking chances. You can't be too careful with the ball. Otherwise, you end up like Justin Herbert. Then you get to the playoffs and you try to throw the ball and you throw picks all over the place. So I think it's going to be a work in progress. The Bears have done everything they possibly can to make him successful. Now it's on Caleb Williams. If he can't get it done with that coach, And with the coordinators and with all the help they got him, then he's a bust. So we'll see what happens there. Look, Gil could be right. Could be another Trevor Lawrence on our hands over here. So that's the NFC North. Now let's get to the joke division that Gil was talking about, the NFC South. The Bucs are winning this division, and they're winning it easy. There's nothing else to talk about. The Falcons are starting Penix. I do like Penix. I think they'll have a decent record with Penix in there. It'll be better than having Cousins, who was throwing picks all over the field and fumbling. I told everyone it'd be a disaster last year. That's what it was. I think they could win 8 or 9 games again with Penix, and they'll be an improved offense, but I don't like their defense. The Saints are starting some guy named Spencer Rattler, which Gil laughed at while I was at the pool last week. Spencer Rattler starting. So the Saints are trying to tank for Arch Manning, and then the Panthers will be improved, but maybe they'll win 6 or 7 games. I don't know. I mean, Young was better at the end of the year. I do like Chuba Hubbard. They added to Troy McMillan, so they should be a better team. I don't know about their defense. Their defense was terrible last year, so they're going to be very limited as far as going up. They're hoping that Bryce Young improves and try again next year. So Bucks, easy division winners. They got the best team easily. Gil, who do you have in this division? And talk about the other teams.
Yeah, the Bucks are winning this hands down. They have all the pieces. The Bucks play all these 3 teams twice this year. It's going to be those are like, what is that? 2, 4. That's 6 wins right there. Atlanta will come in second. I think they'll fall short of the playoffs, but they'll come in second. And then I think Carolina comes third and New Orleans comes fourth. Don't be surprised if Kamara after this year demands a trade out of New Orleans. That's what I think about the division. Nothing really much to talk about this division.
I'm shocked he signed an extension. I don't know if he knew about Carr's injury when he did it, but Carr announced his retirement after, so I guess he got stuck with the contract, but they paid him a lot. So, yeah, Kamara's going to be in trouble with that quarterback situation. Jose, who do you got in this division? Any surprises?
Oh no! You know what? I think it'll be between the Bucks and the Falcons again, like last year. I think the both teams will be finishing all 500. I don't think the Bucks are way above everybody else in the division. I think it's going to be like close, like last year between they'll win the division, but it's going to be like 9-8 record or like an 8-8 or whatever. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't think the Bucks are going to win double digits this year. I think they'll win 9 games the most.
The Bucks were 10-7 last year.
Yeah, 10-7. I think they'll be 9-8 this year, honestly, because I think the Falcons with Penix. I think with the Falcons with Penix is an upgrade. They beat him last year twice.
They did.
With Kirk Cousins as quarterback.
Yeah.
And the Carolina Panthers are going to be improved this year. I'm not saying they're going to be good, but I see them. They can win 7 games this year, 8 games. And as for the Saints are horrible, but who gives a shit? It is what it is. Like I said, Bucks is going to squeak it out like last year, but it's going to be closer than you think. I don't think the Bucks are going to are not running away with this division. I don't think so.
Okay. So that's pretty much that division. There's not a whole lot to talk about there. Now let's get to the NFC West. Yes, the division that you see in the background with the team in the background. I got a lot to say about this division, so I'll start off. The 49ers have the weakest schedule in the NFL this year. I know, hard to believe, but they did finish 4th. So if they did not have the weakest schedule in the NFL this year, I would not have picked them to win this division. But because they do, by default, they should win this division. They have no wide receivers right now. Like literally, the whole wide receiving corp is hurt. Thank God Christian McCaffrey still. They did picked up Brian Robinson to help out. They Sky Moore, and they're calling Kendrick Bourne off his couch and trying to get any receiver that's available to come play for them. I mean, it's just a disaster. The hope is the defense is better with Robert Saleh, even though they've lost some people there to Denver. That's why Denver's defense is going to be so good. And that the 49ers do just enough offensively to win. Here's the problem, though. They still have Jake Moody kicking for this team. The guy's kicking the ball out of bounds. He's kicking it 5 feet left. He can't kick extra points. Like, why do they still have this guy here? Yeah, go sign somebody else. Like Kyle Shanahan has this thing where he just has to hold on to guys. It's like, no, dude, if he can't kick the football, get him out. They lost a lot of close games last year. They ended up 6-11. If they're going to win, they're going to have to make some changes, probably midway through the season, and they're going to have to hope they get healthy quick enough because they got some tough division matchups early, including the Seabags in week 1. I think they'll win the division, but it's only because their schedule's weak. Because if they don't win this division and they're out of the playoffs, Kyle Shanahan's gone. So this is a big season for him. It's a big season for Purdy. Purdy's going to have to show he's worth $50 million. I think they'll do it, but it's going to be very close. I think the Seabags are a close second. I think the Rams are going to be right there. I don't like Stafford and his back injuries. He's got health issues, so I don't like that. And the Cardinals will be improved as well. So this is going to be a very, very tight division that the 49ers might edge out. Jose, I'll go to you next. What do you think about this division?
Listen, the Niners, you know how much I love my Niners, but they're not making the playoffs this year.
Oh, man, I'm not surprised you
Okay?
said
I'm
that.
telling you straight right now.
I'm not.
They're young defensively. They're going to take a year or two to gel with each other. Offensively, wide receivers, they have nobody. If you're depending on Ricky Purcell to be your number one, you're in trouble. Ayuk's only coming back mid-season, if he comes back mid-season. Jawan Jennings is hurt. You're depending on Robinson, and you're depending on Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle to take your offense. How far are they going to take you? With McCaffrey coming off an injury. I think Brock Purdy will have a good season. He'll put up the numbers. But when it comes to the end, I don't think the Niners are going to make the playoffs this year. So I have the Rams finishing first. All depends on the health of Matthew Stafford. Because if Matthew Stafford is healthy,
their history if it's Jimmy G.
If it's Jimmy G, they're not winning the division. I'll tell you right now. But I'm just saying, I think it's going to be Rams first if Stafford is healthy. Rams first, Seahawks second. I think the Seahawks will improve themselves very well, picking up Cooper Kupp. Defensively, they're improved. And then the Niners third, and with the same record as the Arizona. Arizona will have a good team this year. I think they'll be upgrade from last year, but it's going to be between the Rams and the Seahawks to win the division.
Well, I want to say a couple more before I get to go. Like I think Kyler Murray's in a contract year. They improved their defense, so they're going to be tricky. And then, like, the Seabags, they could make the playoffs. I didn't pick them, but they can make the playoffs. Jose, just go on mute.
100%.
Yeah, I think the Seabags could make the playoffs. Absolutely. I didn't pick them, but watch out for them with Darnold. Gil, it's up to you now. What do you think? Like I said, I only picked the 49ers because of their schedule, but man, the injuries that this team has, like, it's hard to believe in them and have to rely on so much on McCaffrey to be successful this year. But who do you got?
Well, I like Seattle to win the division this year.
Yeah, I like Seattle too. Yeah.
I think their additions were great. I think they got their identity. I think they're ready to go. And second, I'm gonna say San Fran's gonna stay in second. I just think the Rams. I don't think Stanford's gonna last the whole year. I think he's gonna get injured sooner or later. And then Garoppolo, we all know about him. So that Ram team will have to go draft a quarterback next season.
Yes.
Arizona, Kyle Murray is good. He has the mobility. He has Harrison, but he still needs that running back. Connor's good. He had a great year actually last year. But Arizona needs that defense. They just can't find to win games. They're always in the games, but they can't win. I think it's going to be the same thing. I think they need to change something drastically too. But I think the Niners, with the experience, they'll find a way to get in that wild card. I think they get the last place wild card. So, yeah. So Seattle, Niners, I'm going to take the Rams and then Arizona.
Okay, interesting. So let's go to the buys. AFC, who gets the buy? I'll go to you, Gil, first. Who gets the buy?
AFC's buy. Well, I think AFC. might be tough, but I'm gonna I don't know because Baltimore has to play the Bengals in Pittsburgh twice,
And they got to play in Buffalo week 1.
and I play Buffalo too. But Buffalo to me, when it comes to games like that, they don't have a star receiver either.
No, no, they don't. Well, neither does Baltimore, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Baltimore.
I actually agree. I thought about taking the Bills to win the AFC this year, but I think the Ravens will win week 1. And because of that, I think they have the tiebreaker, and that therefore they finish ahead of the Bills by a tiebreaker. But I think that the Bills and the Ravens will have a very similar record. So I'll go with the Ravens because I think they win week 1. Jose, AFC bye?
Bills. I think Bills get the bye.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It's gonna be
think
close.
playing against the Dolphins and the Jets twice, and then they struggle against the Patriots. They're always a split here and there, but against those 2 games against the Jets and the Miami Dolphins are guaranteed wins. While then the Ravens, they have an awesome team, but playing against even Browns when they play them there, it's a tough game, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the Bills will have the bye.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if it's the Bills either. I only did it because I think that the Ravens will win week 1, but yeah, I thought about taking the Bills too. NFC East bye, or sorry, NFC bye. Wow. Um, I actually don't know. Let me go to Gil. Who's your bye?
Well, I'm torn here between the Eagles and Tampa Bay. Uh,
Yeah, I
I
thought
think,
about taking Tampa Bay too as the bye. Actually, I'm gonna pick Tampa Bay to get the bye. Actually,
yeah, well, I was feeling one or the other. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take Tampa Bay.
yeah. And you'll understand why I'm taking the Bucks after when we make our other picks. Jose, who's your bye?
Taking To me, it's going to be between Packers and the Eagles. Um,
They play each other,
I'll
right?
just say the
This
Eagles
year.
because I'm just going to take the Eagles based on their division. I think playing against freaking Cowboys this year and the Giants, it's going to be an easier games than it is for the Green Bay Packers to play against those guys. So I'm going to take the Eagles again this year.
No, that's true. Yeah, they do play at Green Bay. So because they're at Green Bay, I think Green Bay may finish ahead of the Eagles, but I'm going to take the Bucks because I think the Bucks schedule is so easy. They may end up with the most wins. So now we get to MVP. Something I love picking every year. I believe who got it right last year? Josh Allen. I think you had Did you have Josh Allen last year? Jose? No. Okay, so I think you picked Brock Purdy, maybe. I'm trying to remember now.
I had Burrow or Purdy. I don't know which one I had.
Yeah,
I think I had Burrow, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken. But
yeah. Gil, did you have Lamar
yeah.
Jackson?
I had Lamar Jackson, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to pick Baker Mayfield to win MVP. I think that he got on the radar last year with his 4,500 yard, 45 touchdown season when he had most of his offense out, and I think that this year, in a weak division with a very weak schedule, he's going to get recognized as one of the top quarterbacks in the league this year, and I think he has a chance to win MVP. I like his odds as well. I think he has a really good chance narrative wise too, because they like to pick someone different. They like to pick underdogs and all that sort of stuff. So because of that, I think he has a real chance. So I'll pick Baker Mayfield for MVP, provided they, of course, come out with the bye in the NFC. Gil?
I like that pick. I'm debating between him and Burrows. I'm gonna go with Burrows.
Nice pick.
I just think Cincinnati offensively is gonna have a field day this year. Um, right? MVP is not about defense, right?
Correct.
So I'm gonna go with Burrows. I think he's gonna put up a lot of numbers this year.
Yeah. So they have to make the playoffs. Otherwise, you can't win it, right? So they have to make the
Well,
playoffs.
I have them in the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the only way they make it because they ain't going to win with their defense. So it's a good pick. It's no question. Plus, the media loves Joe Burrow. So if anyone's going to get it, if he makes the playoffs, it's probably going to be him. Jose, who do you got?
I'm gonna go with Jaden Daniels.
Nice pick again. Yeah, nice pick. Why? I
I
know it's
like
easy.
Jaden.
I mean, there's
I
not much
like
to not like
him,
about
man. He's got
Jaden
another
Daniels, man.
weapon.
I know.
But that guy's an all
So
around
good.
player. He can rush, he can throw, and he's gonna be a threat this year again. And then now you got added Debo Samuel as another weapon for him on the outside with Terry McLaurin. Man, those guys, they're gonna put up points, and he's gonna put up numbers, and I think he's gonna be the MVP of the league this year.
So the only thing I love the pick, but if you have them not winning the division, how does he win MVP?
The numbers last
Just the
year,
numbers?
Burrow
Okay.
was 8-8, and he was third in MVP racing. He should have. He was in the running for MVP. Period. He could have, buddy. He threw for 52 touchdowns or 49
Yeah.
touchdowns
He wouldn't have won
last
it
year.
over Allen or Jackson. He wouldn't have won it over.
Because Allen
No.
won because of the
Right.
record,
Right.
basic wise.
Right.
But if it wasn't for the record, if you look stats for stats, Joe Burrow had better, almost as good or
Yeah.
even better stats
Yeah.
than Josh Allen himself.
Yeah. Yeah. For
So
sure. For
like,
sure. So Daniels will have
yeah,
better stats than Mayfield and Hurts and Stafford. Yeah, so basically he'll be the best
yeah, I
quarterback
think
in the
so. I think
right,
so.
right.
They can be in the running for winning the division against the Eagles. That's just,
Yeah.
I have the Eagles winning the division, but they can be a close second. You know what I mean? And he can
Okay.
still put up the numbers to have an MVP season. You like
Okay. Now we're not
just
gonna
a
make
pick.
we're not gonna make Super Bowl picks yet. We'll wait till the end of the season. We just wanted to give you, division picks and stuff. I honestly don't have one right now, so we'll wait to see how it works out. But we will pick rookie of the year because I like this because I know Jose and Gil watch a lot of college football. So Gil, who's rookie of the year?
That's tough. It's tough. But I'm gonna think I'm gonna go with Jenkins because I just feel like Vegas is gonna just give him a workload. They're gonna rely heavily on him, and if things don't go right, they have Mozart. But I'm pretty sure Vegas is not relying on Mozart to do it. They're gonna give this kid a big load, and they're gonna try to see what he can do. And I think out of all the rookies, he might come on top.
Okay, I'm going to pick. Wow, Gil, you stole my thunder. I'm going to also pick Austin Genty because, as Gil knows from our football pool, I picked him in fantasy in the first round. So I better believe that he's going to win Rookie of the Year if I picked him in the first round. So yeah, I loved him in college. He's a bruising running back. He doesn't need blocking. He can blow by people if he wants. He can run over people if he wants. Here he's good in the passing game as well. So we'll see if they use him there. But Pete Carroll typically likes to run a Marshawn Lynch type running back, so he's going to be running the ball a lot. Oakland should be improved record-wise. So, yes, that is also my pick for Rookie of the Year. Jose, who do you have as Rookie of the Year? Why are you not there? You go. Okay.
Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward was going to win Rookie of the Year. It's a quarterback award. If he puts half decent numbers, I think he'll win MVP or sorry, Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's hard for other positions to win it unless they have a breakout year. So it's basically a quarterback awards anyway. So I'll take Cam Ward.
I'll say this: if Minnesota makes the playoffs, JJ McCarthy will probably have to be good. So we'll see how he does. He's considered a rookie, correct? Because even though he got hurt, he's still a rookie, right? So so that's another interesting one. If they make the playoffs, he'll be in consideration. Okay, so that is our preview, our NFL preview for this year. We are going to be back with week 1 picks. As you know, Jose is a 3-time defending champion, and I'm getting really irritated that he wins all year. So it's time for either me or Gil to team up, or it's time for us to knock him off because it's getting frustrating that Jose is pulling away. He lets us come back, and then we get within a game, and then he pulls away again. And so we're going to have to knock Jose off his perch or off his house there in Portugal. Okay, so one of us is gonna have to do it, Gil.
And no, that's not gonna happen, guys. So it's okay. It's gonna be a fourth time.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna turn him into Booker T pretty soon, man. I don't want to have him do the five time. I can't let that happen. Okay, so we'll be right back with our week 1 picks. So stay tuned.